Takes us to the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup from Belmont Park, and weather could play a role in who wins this race. 6 horses have entered, led by the rail horse Wicked Strong. Now, Wicked Strong is one of 3 Grade 1 winners in the race. He won the Grade 1 Wood Memorial last year as a 3-year-old. But as a 4-year-old, has a 0 for 6 record. He has faced Tonalist a couple of times, and he has faced FNX back in April at the Big A, losing as the 3-5 favorite in that race. Joel Rosario gets back on. You know, the difference with this horse this year is he's never had the lead in any of his races. And you go back to the Jim Dandy and Travers last year, he led both races at the 3rd call, ended up losing a nose bob in the Travers, and won the Jim Dandy by 2 lengths. I think he has a shot of having the lead here on the turn if Constitution stops, and he is very live in the spot. Continues to train forwardly and work out strong for this race. Coach Inge, have to admire his year. 7 races, 7 times in the money. Faced both FNX and Tonalist in the Suburban. Came in 3rd, but set some fast fractions that day. A 110 for the 6 furlong call and 135 for the mile. Raced against Liam's Map the last time, had no shot winning that race, but drops a little bit of a tad in class here. I've always questioned him at 1.25 miles, but really at this point, he won the Brooklyn at 1.5 miles, got 3rd in the Suburban at 1.25 miles, and ran a strong 2nd to a classy Liam's Map in his most recent race. He could also show some speed, and I definitely see him making a move down the backstretch. His best races have been on the lead, and I'm not sure he's going to get that in this spot with Wicked Strong and with Constitution. Constitution lost his prep race. He's a former Grade 1 winner, the Florida Derby last year as a 3-year-old. Had the long layoff and then lost a opportunity last fall. Came back this year, ran and won the Don Handicap. 4 of his wins actually have been at Gulfstream Park. He won his maiden, then he won allowance, then he won the Florida Derby, and then he won the Don Handicap. I've always kind of questioned him as a 1.25 mile horse, but he does get Javier Castellano. He is the lone speed. 6-horse field, the fractions could be slow, and the Tappets seem to like the slop. So if it does come up sloppy and that rainstorm is moving up the East Coast, if it's a sloppy track, he could run pretty big in this spot, Constitution. FNX disappointed the last time, but the trainer said he threw a temper tantrum right before the race and throw it out. Before that, he won a head bob over Tonalist, Coach Inge in 3rd. And then earlier this year had a nice big win over Wicked Strong back in the Excelsior. He's a solid horse, lifetime 6 for 17, has his normal jock on him, and Junior Alvarado, another one who's capable of winning and should like the distance at 1.25 miles. Looks to Spare is kind of the outclassed horse in this race. Won the last race, the West Virginia Governor's Handicap at 74-1, blew up the tote board. Goes up in class and going straight from a optional stakes race to a Grade 1. He was claimed for $50,000 at Hawthorne in April. Good claim, but just seems overmatched in this spot. Tonalist, the heavy favorite. I expect him to be 4-5 on the board. His morning line is 6-5. He's only 1 for 4 this year. Has run in Grade 1s. Got 2nd in the Metropolitan Handicap to Honor Code. Then came back and ran 3rd to Honor Code in the Whitney. Got 18 lengths behind in that race. Has alternated on and off throughout the year with blinkers. Elects to keep him off in this spot, and I'm just wondering if he's going to get too far back, but he has a powerful win back in the Peter Pan in the slop, so he's another one that could like the slop. Like Constitution, he's by Tappet, and it was a sloppy track that day at Belmont in May of 2014. Love the Met Weil and the Whitney. He really galloped out strong in the Whitney, galloped out best of all in that race. He is a Grade 1 winner. 1 for 4 on the year, though, and I question if Constitution and Wicked Strong get the jump on him without blinkers, if he can really close that much ground. But he's one of, I would say, 2 or 3 horses in this crop of older horses that really can get 1.25 miles or even thrive at 1.25 miles. He won the Jockey Club Gold Cup last year. That was from off the pace. Fractions should be a little on the slow side, and last year had a 14-horse field. This year only a 6-horse field. Tonalist is my selection. I think Wicked Strong is going to run well, and if it's a really sloppy track, Constitution could like the slop, and especially as the lone speed. Make sure to follow all the races up to the Breeders' Cup this year. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the website, Derbyologist.com. We'll come back with more next week as we continue on the road to the Breeders' Cup.